Okay, I'm running out of battery space. I'm gonna have to make this real quick. This is a response to Brandon 401's contest entry. He wants to know what my favorite gun is. The gun that I would love to buy is the original 1911. When someone says they have a 1911, they have a 1911 A1. The 1911 was in service from 1911 to 1924. The A1 was in service from 24 to present. Trigger. Grip safety and beaver tail. Grip safety and beaver tail. Mainspring housing is flat. Mainspring housing is a bump. I think ironically the sights are better on the original than on the A1. Now Mr. Browning made the original in 1911. He was personally at the field testing in 1920 and on March 29th, 1911, when it was adopted by the U.S. military. Mr. Browning liked to sell his patents. He did it a lot for dirt cheap. So what Mr. Browning would do was make the gun, patent it, and sell it. He did sell the 1911 to Colt several years later for dirt cheap. Colt did let the patent expire, and hence no one has the patent. So any idiot with a gun license can make a 1911 so long as they're allowed to manufacture a gun. There's no copyright infringement at all. In 1924, Mr. Browning was in Belgium working for Fabrique Nationale, and this is what Colt did. They upgraded the gun. They upgraded it. And because Mr. Browning sold the patent and because the patent expired, they did not need his permission to do this. It's entirely possible Mr. Browning never saw an A1. It's entirely possible Mr. Browning didn't know it existed. He was in Europe in 1924 and died, unfortunately, 2 years later. Now, Colt did bring this gun back in 1911. In 2009, Colt brought the original back as a replica. Then they canceled it quickly. They did bring it back this year, but orders are only until November of this year and of $1,100. I'm not in a position to buy an $1,100 gun right now. I just bought a very expensive Springfield Armory loaded. In the future, if the 1911 original is reproduced again by Colt, maybe in 2018 to commemorate the centennial of World War I ending, maybe in 2026 to commemorate the centennial of Mr. Browning's passing, I would consider buying it. Now, if I'm going to buy the gun and shoot it, I would prefer to buy the original. No, I'm sorry. If I would buy a gun and shoot it, I would prefer to buy a reproduction gun. I'm a comic book fan and I want an original comic book, but if I'm gonna buy a gun and shoot it, I'll buy the reproduction, shoot it, carry it, use it at the range, blah 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 blah. In order for me to buy an original World War I gun, I would have to go on GunBroker, spend a boatload of money, went to a gunsmith, have it cleaned, detail stripped, detail cleaned, field test fired, all of the bull. So if I get the $1,100, I'll buy a reproduction one day, and when they make them again, hopefully. If I get $5,000 or $6,000, then I'll buy the original, have it cleaned up, put it in a display case, and have guys pay me to drool over it. I'll pay admission price to see it. Okay, that's the original. And the Colt reproduction is exactly like it. Hickok 45 said he prefers this flat mainspring housing. Hickok 45 has more 1911s than I have teeth. It just looks cooler because it's Mr. Browning's gun. This is some other guy's gun. I have no idea who did this. Obviously it's Browning's gun, and they just did a couple of upgrades. It looked, okay. The slide serrations are sort of slanted. Straight, slanted slightly. This is for Brandon 401. I made a longer version of this video with some foul language in it, and then I realized I watched his full video. He doesn't want foul language, so I had to redo it, and I'm running out of disk space on this chip space. Okay, Brandon 401, 5,000 subscribers, and good luck to whoever wins.